If there is something that you want in life, go for it. Do it. You know how they say, take the vacation, uh, ask the girl out, do it. I think I spent a lot of time, a lot of my life, uh, afraid of what other people would think, afraid of what other people would say, when in reality, those people doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think. I did exactly what the YouTuber said. He was that YouTuber was showing screenshot and screenshot. I think they probably were making tens of thousands of dollars. I said, as soon as I set this up, the same thing is gotta happen to me. I set it all up exactly the way he said, and
Okay. Typical, yeah.
I made
Yeah.
a big fat goose egg.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Mm.
How come, why am I not getting the results that this guy's getting? Who decided that I needed to know about these things? There's a lot of different things that I could learn about in this world, but why am I learning about economics? Why am I learning about this?
Yeah.
Who decides, who decides that this is what's important for me to learn?
All right. So, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Brainwashed To Be Broke series. Today's guest is someone who went from serving in the US Army to helping to everyday entrepreneurs build simple systems that generate thousands of leads and six-figure results. He's the founder of the Mental Marketer, a digital marketing agency, and a Meta Blueprint certified specialist. He's also a ClickFunnels ambassador and proud rep of Russell Brunson. Super excited to have him here. Welcome to the show, Mark Douglas. What's up, man?
Oh, Adam, what's up, brother? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Welcome to everyone out there watching. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It's my pleasure to have you here. And I'm super excited for this conversation. It's going to be so much fun. We will have, well, I have pretty much lots of questions prepared for you to actually go through and see what we're going to so what we can go and dive into some super cool topics. All right, so before we go to those questions, I would love to actually know, and probably all the listeners would love to know more about you and how did you get into entrepreneurship and how you become a ClickFunnels ambassador, right?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, um, the entrepreneur journey for me started many, many years ago. And it was when I was in my teens. My very first entrepreneurial experience was I was 12 years old and I had a habit. I had a habit of playing video games. And yeah, and it's interesting those things that will push you towards something. And it was really for a goal. I wanted to accomplish something, and that the thing that I wanted to accomplish was I wanted to be able to play video games all day long if I could. But there was one problem. I didn't have any money to play video games. and I used and it was my granddad. It was my granddad who I would go to the store for him, and he would send me to the store with money. And each time I would come home, it would be 2 and 3 hours later, and he would give me some money, and the I would get change from the store. And when I would take that change, and that's how I would go play video games. So each day I came home from the store, I had to come up with more creative ideas to tell my granddad what took me so long and how he didn't have any money left after sending me to the store. But my granddad was great. He knew that I was going to spend that money every time that he gave it to me. But I said to myself, I said, how can I keep this habit? How can I finance this habit? I needed
Mhm.
money to finance it.
Mhm.
And that's when my granddad agreed to loan me his lawnmower. And there was my first
Mhm.
entrepreneurial experience. I opened up a lawn care business for the summer and I made enough money to play the video games and remain the high score leader. That was
Mhm.
important, Adam. Did you ever play video games?
Yes, I do actually. I've been playing a lot of video games before I actually started entrepreneurship all like journey, and without before even I moved to the different country, I've been like playing video games like all day long, and I was like, okay, I have to stop with that because it doesn't lead anywhere to like and I need to start actually think about the future and um how I can actually secure and provide for my future family, right? And that was like, okay, I have to start literally like thinking about it because if I'm not going to, I probably will end up with like because I saw that the school is not going to lead anywhere, even though I because uh, as I say so many times, like when I was young, my parents and been working super hard, and I've been raised by my grandparents, and when I saw that I'm actually going to like finish my graduation and saw that the path pretty much similar to theirs. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, stop with video games, like just settling for some, not really like much, and start doing something that's actually going to be meaningful for others and for myself and for my future and so on. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So my priorities have definitely changed.
yeah,
In
totally.
entrepreneurship then was to finance playing video games, and entrepreneurship today is to finance my life and
Yes,
take care of my family. Yeah, it's
totally.
like that desire, that need back in my preteens is what fueled me to entrepreneurship, and it's still a same desire today that's
Hmm.
fueling me to be in entrepreneurship. But I think along the way, I have developed a love for it.
Hmm.
I don't think entrepreneurship is for everyone.
Hmm.
It's
Totally.
it's
Yeah,
I
100%.
think.
Telling you that's a big concept actually. Yeah.
Mm-mm. And it helps. It helps if you enjoy it. I can't imagine being an entrepreneur and not enjoying it. It's like putting yourself through torture.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important to like because when you start the entrepreneurship, the road is not really smooth. You will face so many obstacles, and you will have to learn so many skills and change the way you operate. Because right from the beginning when everything like starts for us, we are following path that doesn't lead to that big of a success. We are leads to
Mm,
like settle down, be easy to control based by the society that how they set it up for us. So for
yes.
you, when you actually been in that situation, like when you've been you know driven, kind of, I would say, being able to do that thing that you like to do, that actually motivates you to start figuring out ways that actually going to support that vision, what you want to do, right? And that's really important also, I would say.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So,
yes, yes, yeah.
so yeah, continue with yeah,
Oh,
that's
I was just going to inject a point there because not only is it's great to enjoy it, but it's even better when you can actually take care of your family doing it. And that has to do with the money part.
hmm
It's, I don't think that people will continue doing things if they're not making money from it,
hmm
or they're not seeing a return
yes.
from what they're putting out there. So not only I think there's a difference between a hobby and a business.
hmm
You know, a hobby, you can learn, you love to do that hobby, but you potentially could not make money from that hobby. Although it's a passion, you love doing it. But if you're not making money from it, it's not something that you could consider a profession or something that you could live off of or support your family. So you've got to have that love, but then you've also have to have that income,
hmm
that impact and that income, because that income is what's going to sustain you when the times get rough.
hmm
Uh, when the times get rough, if you're not making money, it's the easiest escape route is to leave and go back to whatever you're doing or to go back to what society tells us is the norm. But if you can combine that with money, that's important. I know we were talking before we came on that people don't talk enough about the money,
Hmm.
and I think that you do need to keep the money front and center because the money is what's going to fuel you when times get tough.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah, so
Told you I could talk.
yeah, totally. Yeah. So your story begins with basically loving video games, and your grandfather supported you to actually, being able to. So he lended, yeah, he supported you that way. And then what happened next? Like, um, because I think we've been talking before we jump on. That you actually moved to or been visiting even European countries. It was like that was the time when you actually been like since from there you went to move to like or travel somewhere around the world to actually like see the places, or what actually led you to travel?
Okay, okay. So that was during I call those my and here we go through three levels of school.
Hmm.
It's typically elementary, middle school, and high school.
Hmm.
Those were my middle school years. I went on to graduate from high school, and I immediately entered into the military. And
Okay.
that's what when I when I went through high school, I'm gonna tell you, I was a good student, Adam. I was smart, but I wasn't applying myself. I think I wasn't I could learn everything in school. I don't think anything came difficult to me with just a little bit of practice, but I wasn't applying myself. I actually didn't graduate with the best grades.
Hmm.
Okay, sorry if you're out there listening and you thought I did, but I know most people think that how could I fail? It's funny. People look at me now and say, I can't see you doing that. Yeah, it was me. I was, I
I
wasn't very good.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I read something that the best entrepreneurs usually in the school being in the like average, like in the middle. Have you heard about those type of things? Like, have you read about it, or have you ever heard about it?
I have seen a lot of high performing entrepreneurs that either didn't like school
Yeah.
or they didn't maybe they may not have done well in school.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think that just, if we're talking about it on a broader,
Yeah.
just talking about it in broader in general, I think that in school they expect everyone to have the same learning style. It's the way that school is designed
Yes.
for 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 people, no matter what your background is, no matter your uh, personality, you're being taught one way.
Hmm.
Well, newsflash, we don't all learn the same way.
Mm.
And for some of us, if we talk about modes, some of us are more visual, some
Mm.
of us are auditory,
Yeah.
and then there's some of us who are what they call it kinesthetic or more
Hmm.
feeling,
Hmm.
and that's our learning style.
Hmm.
In school, and entrepreneurs, we think differently.
Right.
We think differently and we think from a different perspective. So I can definitely understand how the traditional education system is not designed to raise or teach or grow entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
The traditional education system is designed to grow workers,
Hmm.
I heard okay, I'm getting off the story here for a little bit because I was going back to where I started, but I did hear, because it's interesting, you made the point about most entrepreneurs only do average in
Uh-huh.
school. I'd heard that it wasn't until the mid of early 1900s that uh, they instituted more levels of school, and the entire purpose behind schooling was to train people to work in the factories.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it was designed to train workers to work in the factories. To be honest, I always thought, I thought to myself, why am I learning this stuff?
Hmm.
you
So yeah,
know, who,
totally.
yeah. Who decided that I needed to know about these things? There's a lot of different things that I could learn about in this world, but why am I learning about economics? Why am I learning about this?
Yeah.
Who decides who decides that this is what's important for me to learn?
Hmm.
And so I do I do like school in some way, because I think that it teaches you certain skills, and that could, for me, what I believe those skills are is seeing things to the end,
Hmm.
taking on a project, bringing resources together,
Hmm.
and seeing, taking a piece here, taking a piece there to make one whole. Organization,
Hmm.
communication, how to express that to another person.
Hmm.
Those are some of the things that I love that I learned in school,
Hmm.
but maybe not so much the topics themselves.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I can understand how entrepreneurship and school doesn't necessarily make you a, it does, having a degree and going to school, it doesn't necessarily make you a successful.
Oh,
I'll say that doesn't
totally.
necessarily make you successful,
Yeah.
and it definitely doesn't necessarily make you rich.
Hmm.
That's a definitely. If that were so, then teachers would be the highest paid people, but
Yeah.
they're not.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
oh yeah. So that's a little bit of my thoughts. I know you didn't
No,
ask
that's
me what I
awesome.
thought
Yeah,
about the
that was
education
awesome.
system, but I
Totally.
did.
That was awesome. And the learning style,
It-
that's awesome. Like I'm telling you, I'm talking about this so much with my friends and so on. I haven't got this type of talk on this show yet, so that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that because this is super cool.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I'm 100% with you on the workers. Like they're trying to shape us into two boxes that we're going to be only like easy to manipulate and do like things, um, without even like do the thing what I told you to do, but don't think about anything else. Like just do that and that's it. And that's how they're going to like easily to control you, and you don't really like. It seems to me that those people who are like this way, they don't even dream. Like they
Right,
don't dream like
right,
what I can do, what my life could look like. They just
right.
they're just this is the way, and that's all. And that's how I'm going to live the whole life. And this is so sad to me because like the, we are here for more, not just being, in that. But yeah, back to that story.
Absolutely.
When you get to so you finished um, school and then you went to army right away. So how that looked like for you actually?
Yes. So I went into the military before I was 18. I signed up in the delayed entry program. It was my last year of high school, and I signed up I signed up, it was May. I think we graduated in June, and I signed up to leave for the military later that year, and I think it was October. So I graduated high school, and then I worked throughout the summer before leaving to the military, and I turned 18 when I was in the basic training, the boot camp.
Yep.
So that's how soon I left the city to actually join the military. Um, and back then, you could not actually enter the military unless you were 18.
Hmm.
So I had to have my mother sign
Hmm.
her permission for me to leave at the age of 17.
Hmm.
Leaving and going to the military, it really it opened my eyes almost immediately from the day I stepped in or off of that plane in the city where I was at. It was in Georgia. First of all, it was hot there.
Hmm.
I, I'd never experienced such humidity, but I got a crash course, a immediate. immediate reaction, and I woke up. I didn't have time to think about it. It was get off the bus.
Mhm.
You are now in the army. You are a soldier,
Mhm.
and your job is to fight.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow.
Adam, I didn't join the army to fight.
Yeah.
They had the wrong person. I joined
Wow.
I joined because I wanted money for college. I
Okay.
joined I joined because I knew I couldn't afford college on my own and I wanted to go work behind a desk.
Mhm.
But they told me I was there to fight.
Nice. Oh my gosh. But that time, like, what was your thoughts about it? Like, oh my gosh, when you heard that you are here to fight, like, did it have you freaked out because of that, or what actually was the reaction to it? You know?
Well, when they handed me a knife and they said you basically they were training me to do this and they were training me to do
Yeah.
this. I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, I am I am a soldier.
Uh-huh.
I am a soldier. And a soldier is someone that goes out there on the battlefield and fights.
Hmm.
And I thought, okay, this is interesting. So I ended up actually, and I thought to myself at the time, I said, well, you know, it's not likely that we'll go to war. It's not
Hmm.
likely that I'll actually be put in a situation where I'll go
Hmm.
to war. And guess what happens, Adam?
I don't know.
We
Did you
went
have
to
to go?
war.
Yeah, did you? Oh yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
we did.
Mm.
I went to war. I went to war and I had that experience. It was man, I can't really I think what was going on through my mind back then was I think during the war that I went to, I think it was in a situation where I was I was my life was on the line. My
Hmm.
life was on the line every single day that I woke up out there. I never had an actual because my job wasn't out there on the front line.
Hmm.
I was my job was a telephone technician.
Hmm.
Remember, I didn't go to the military to fight.
Wow.
I went I went to the military to learn a trade and to come back out here in the real world and use that trade and go to college. That was my thinking. And
Hmm.
I thought I'll go spend a few years there, but along the way I got a eye opening and I went to war. I did survived that. I'll just say I survived it. But I did 4 years and
Hmm.
I was gone.
Hmm.
I said, all right, okay. I think I'd feel more comfortable
Hmm.
being in a place where I felt I had control of my
Hmm.
life.
Hmm.
I didn't I wasn't I was a soldier. I was
Hmm.
property of the United States government. I wasn't my own person. I
Hmm.
wasn't I didn't have the ability to make the decisions on my own. When
Hmm.
they said I walked, I walked. When
Hmm.
they said I run, I ran. You
Hmm.
go here, you go there.
Yeah.
I didn't, that wasn't the type of life that I envisioned for myself. I wanted to be the person saying where I could go when I want to go.
Hmm.
So after 4 years, thank goodness, I did that tour of duty, and then I came back out here into the regular world of, I'll say, civilians. I do appreciate the service. It was one of the best decisions I made in my life.
Hmm.
It opened up my eyes. I got to visit a lot of European countries,
Hmm.
and I got to see the world and experience a lot of things.
Hmm.
Um, I gained a lot of skills there. Like I said, I was there to learn a skill, but I
Hmm.
learned more than a skill. I made friends. I learned how to get along with other people. I learned leadership skills. I learned how to organize a team, and I learned how to keep myself organized. So that 4 years was a great foundation for after leaving high school and those things that I didn't learn. It
Hmm.
was a really great foundation to establish myself and in this world out here. That
Hmm.
was my experience from high school middle school, and then immediately after 4 years of the military.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm So after that, how did you get like way back into entrepreneurship?
Okay. Okay. Good. Uh, after after leaving the military, I decided to move to Texas.
hmm
That's where I made my home. Immediately following getting out of the military, I was still not sure. I was going from job to job.
hmm
I was working at telemarketing companies, and I wasn't, I didn't have a straight career path. And
Yeah. Yeah.
then I decided, I said, here I am. I've got this money to go to college. I need to take advantage of it.
hmm
A friend told me, said, look, just go to school and you'll find out what you want to do.
hmm
And that's what I did. And I did. I enrolled in a little community college in San Antonio. And it was a 2-year program. And I signed up and I said, okay, I'm going to choose to be an accounting degree.
hmm
I'm going to choose an accounting degree.
hmm
Why did I choose accounting degree? Because I knew that accountants would make money.
hmm Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that was the goal. The goal
Yeah.
was to learn something that I could bring out here to the table and
hmm
people would pay me for a
hmm
skill,
The skill.
that to learn a skill that people would pay me for. And
hmm
I thought that skill would be accounting because I
hmm
saw people that were just doing numbers and it was just a whole complicated thing. I knew I could learn that.
hmm
I stayed an accounting major for 1 semester. One semester, and I changed my degree to
Mm,
business, and it was marketing,
mhm,
and I kept it the same the rest of the way because I
mhm,
know I'd seen some people. I would ask people about advice. What do you think? What's your degree in? How did you choose that? I would get a lot of different answers, and I wasn't sure. I didn't have a definite plan. I wasn't
mhm,
one of those persons that said, from the age of 14, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a nurse,
mhm,
or I want to be a lawyer. I, I didn't have that certainty at that age. I just knew that I wanted to make money. I
mhm,
just knew that I needed to make a living
mhm,
and take care of myself because I wasn't living at home. I didn't have a security blanket.
mhm,
I
mhm,
didn't have that thing to fall back on that some
mhm,
people have. It was either make it or make it.
mhm,
Those are my two options. And thinking about it, I did develop this really scrappy attitude of whatever it takes to get it done, I'm going to get it done.
mhm,
So
mhm.
that's where I really developed that during
Hard
those
decision.
years.
This is very hard decision. Yeah. And it's very important decision to make because that's what I actually did also. Because people always think about what is the second, like what is the, plan B? There's no plan B,
Yeah.
you know. And when that decision and when you're going to put yourself into the corner, there is no other way than just do it. Right.
Yes. Burn the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, burn the bridge. Burn the bridge. So throughout this time that I'm in school, I um I get connected with a friend, another friend of mine, and he is an entrepreneur.
Mhm,
And during this time, as I'm going through school, I'm learning, and I'm at the same time I'm getting the opportunity to kind of
mhm, mhm,
practice learning, and we're learning about businesses. We're learning about, in the broad sense, it's not strictly entrepreneurship, but it's about business and how to run a business and how businesses and corporations are run. I'm learning about this, and I'm thinking in my mind, I'm looking at it from the perspective of a potential business owner.
mhm,
So that sparked my interest again in entrepreneurship.
mhm.
I started a business. I
Right.
started another business. This was my second business after uh, the lawn care business, and it was a business with a partnership.
Mhm,
And we developed these. It was a clothing design business.
mhm,
This was pre internet, So if you can imagine pre-internet, we're setting up a store. We are trying to advertise in the paper. We're going out to local high schools. We're going out to local colleges, and we're getting the word out there.
Mhm.
But what we're doing is, I think what I really like about entrepreneurship is that you take nothing and
Mhm.
you put it together with another nut something, and
Mhm.
then you can increase the value of that and then sell it to make a profit.
Mhm.
You could take one thing that could be some one thing, and then you take another thing, you put those together, and then you go out there and you might take something that's like, let's say for instance, we're making hats.
Mhm.
So we could make hats, and we would go in there and we would try to find the designs of the hats that we liked.
Mhm.
And then after we find the designs that we like, then we needed to find the price.
Mhm.
And then we found the price, and then we said, how much can we do this for? And we would put this all together. And after we got our costs together, now we could determine how much we could sell it for. And
Mhm.
that's what I liked. I think that's what I really liked about it. I liked the fact that you could make put in $1
Mhm.
and bring out $3.
Mhm. Mhm.
Spend $1
Yeah.
and then make $4.
Mhm.
Spend $1 and make $5. But you turn things and you increase them.
Mhm.
So that's what we did. And that's really what I learned
Mhm.
during that design
Mhm.
period. That business broke up. I never forget. I'm still friends
Mhm.
with that guy today, but I think back then we had too many other things going on, and we didn't focus on getting that business done. But that one, I'll say that one failed. That was business number two. And then, of course, entrepreneurship, serial entrepreneurs. There was another one. So, I think every time I've gone back, it's because I wasn't making enough money doing the entrepreneurship to sustain my life or
Mhm. Mhm.
to sustain my family.
Mhm.
So I would go to corporate America,
Mhm.
because after I graduated with a 4-year degree, I
Mhm.
started working for an insurance company. And I got into the world of auto claims,
Mhm.
where I was in for many, many, many years.
Mhm.
And I, even though I was even though I was in this world,
Mhm.
I still had this entrepreneurship bug inside of me.
Mhm.
And I knew it because I was estimating cars and I was doing insurance work,
Right.
but I wasn't I wasn't I wasn't turning wrenches. I had coworkers that had these auto shops in their garage, and they were getting underneath cars and they were getting greasy.
Mhm.
That, I wasn't me. I'm the phone guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Man.
the phone
Yeah.
guy. And I would seek out books
Mhm.
about sales, marketing, and
Mhm.
leadership.
Mhm.
Those are the books that I gravitated towards.
Mhm.
So there was a stint in my corporate America that I ran my third business. I think we're
Mhm.
at number three.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this. I started my third business, and this business was an MP3 business. It
Okay.
was another physical products.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
was physical products.
Mhm.
But oh well, I did services. I didn't realize it first, but my first business was services
Mhm.
with my lawn care. That was
Okay.
services.
That was
Then I
service.
did
Yeah.
products.
Yeah.
Mhm. Then I did products. I did hats. I did
What?
shirts. We
Yeah.
did clothing,
Before we go
and
to that
then
third one, what lessons you learned after being in the business on the first one and the second one, for example? Like, what was the lessons that actually like um, give you some insights that you actually, for example, used in the third business that that help you to actually take uh, the path a little bit from different sides, so it actually help you to make it successful faster, for example.
good question. Good question. Um, my first business,
Mhm.
when I was that 12 years old,
Mhm.
I think that first business taught me that, it taught me how to, it really taught me how to negotiate
Mhm.
how how to negotiate with uh, your services.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I I went from door to door in my neighborhood,
Mhm.
and I went up to them, and I actually offered a free trim.
Mhm.
Offered a free trim on some of the yards that were that I noticed needed some trimming.
Yeah.
So, and that worked
Mhm.
because that free trimming that I gave it, they almost immediately signed up for me to come week after week. So I think I learned the value of giving first.
Mhm.
There's my lesson there. Giving first,
Mhm.
give first. And when you give first, it really makes the sale easier.
Mhm.
You see that philosophy all the time when you're giving out samples,
Mhm.
or here in today's world, we're lead magnets.
Mhm.
And that lesson never left me.
Mhm.
If I were to give you a free sample of what my services are, the chances of you purchasing and becoming a customer
Mhm.
becomes 10 times more likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learned that when I was 12. That was
Mhm.
interesting. My next business, I think I learned about I think it was tough on that business
Mhm.
because I wasn't so much the creative person.
Mhm.
I was the technical person,
Yeah.
and my partner was the creative and the designs, but I was the computer person. That's what I was.
Mhm.
I was so I think I learned on that time that I kind of learned I learned that it's tough working with a partner,
Okay.
first of all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did learn that it's tough
Mhm.
working with a partner and you're both not on the same page.
Mhm.
So I think from that experience, I said, okay, you'll have a lot of people that will approach you
Mhm.
and that will say, oh, I'd love to do this with you. Oh, I'd love to run this business with you.
Yeah.
Most of them are just blowing hot air. There's a lot of people that are they're really big talkers,
Mhm.
but when it comes to taking action, I'm an action taker.
Mhm.
I'm an action taker. If you're not an action taker, sometimes I have to guard myself from getting in those positions
Yeah.
where it's not a 100%, not where we're both not on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
I my friend, still my friend to this day. I think that we both were heading in different directions back then.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I learned that. My
Mhm.
third my third business.
Mhm.
This is the one that really blew up.
Mhm.
My third business really blew up. It was my MP3 business,
Mhm.
and this was internet days now. So now we've got the internet mixed in with my marketing skills that I had learned because I have a marketing degree from
Yeah.
college. So it was like a school lesson in real life.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
out there on, taking what I'd learned in school and putting those practices in real life.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were making 10, 20,000 a month in that business. It was very popular. We were selling these MP3 players. We were selling them online. We were selling on eBay. I was selling wholesale, retail. I had gyms
Mhm.
in the local area, colleges. It was booming, and it was booming until it wasn't.
Mhm.
But that experience really it taught me to use tools.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it taught me to use tools and really break down your business because you can think that you're making money in your business,
Mhm.
but if you're not paying attention, you could be losing money.
Mhm. Mhm.
I had I had this I developed this spreadsheet. This like I said, this was early internet. I'll say this is early internet. I was I'll say I don't know if you have Craigslist. Do you know what
Yeah.
Craigslist?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, not that all not that the age to actually remember that. Yeah. So no.
So think about early internet days, and it's all what I saw Craigslist
Yeah.
was an online posting. and I could put my business out there and it didn't cost me anything. So it was like the newspaper
Hmm.
for free, and that it went out to more people. So that's when it really blew up. I learned how to go on there and advertise, and then I also learned to organize my my cost of goods.
Hmm.
So I was selling on Amazon and I was selling on eBay.
Hmm.
But it was tough for me to compete with a lot of the sellers out there because they were selling directly from overseas, whether
Hmm.
it might be China
Yeah.
or another country, but their prices were so cheap,
Hmm.
I could not compete with them on price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said to myself, I can't compete with them on price. What is my competitive advantage?
Hmm.
How can I compete with them? And I thought it over, and I finally found out that where I could really beat all those other competitors was with delivery time.
Hmm.
Delivery time.
Hmm.
Their shipments wouldn't get to you for a week or longer.
Hmm.
But for me,
Yeah.
I promised next day. I promised next day and I delivered next day. I don't think there was an order that I made that I didn't get out next day.
Hmm.
So I learned in that business you don't always have to be the cheapest.
Yeah.
You don't really have to be the best.
Hmm.
You just have to find where you are the best.
Hmm.
What is your competitive advantage?
Hmm.
And when you find your competitive advantage, then you can highlight that, make that the focus, and that's what people will gravitate towards you. And I've done that throughout my life from that time, is to find exactly where you can fit in and then really use that to your
Hmm.
advantage.
Hmm.
That's what I learned. And that third business, which is an MP3 business,
Hmm.
uh, the MP3s were really new back then. If
Hmm.
you know the MP3s, I
Yeah.
think it was it was Apple that had just released their iPod,
Yeah.
and it was such a big deal at the time because you could take phone. I'm sorry, you could have 1,000 songs in your pocket.
Right.
So I was piggybacking off of the Apple product, and mine was a knockoff though. It was an imitation,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I sold it for much less than the Apple product. So my market, they loved it. They
Hmm.
loved it. And I taught them. I actually not only did I sell it, but I taught them how to put the music onto the players.
Yeah.
I made tutorial videos. I made step-by-step videos.
Hmm.
I went on MySpace and I
Hmm.
put pictures, step
Yeah.
one, step two, step three, with
Yeah.
plugging it in. I was a full-time entrepreneur. It was,
Nice.
it, but and all that stuff was really fun.
Hmm.
Just thinking up new marketing campaigns, thinking up different ways to promote, thinking of different ways to display your product,
Hmm.
thinking of different angles
Yeah.
to sell. There's so many different angles that you could sell from. One of the angles that I really learned during that time,
Hmm.
um, I'll tell you, is that I had a booth, and I would be approached by the mom, the
Hmm.
dad, and the kid. And I knew when I had that combination come up to my booth, they were going to leave with a player,
Yeah.
because this is what I would do. I would let the kid play with it and
Uh,
love it. Then I would talk to the mom to convince the dad.
nice. Yeah.
So
That's yeah.
it was a fun time because I was having these dynamic human interactions in real time.
Hmm.
And I was having these interactions in real time that I could make adjustments on the go.
Yeah.
I could I could do something like, I'm gonna pull out the phone, and I had this display, and I knew to put my hand towards it to
Yeah.
draw their attention here. And when I saw that they had their attention, then I knew where how I could orchestrate the whole performance. And it was a constant change, and it was a constant learning different angles to see what effect or what result I got from whatever I did. I might have, it might have been something as simple as as a nod,
Yeah.
or just paying attention to those dynamic interactions in that sales.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that, the whole interaction, and and uh and how I could adjust it on the go to have different outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because yeah, I think it's one thing that I've learned is, how I listened to a little bit of Tony Robbins, and
Yeah.
he would always talk about how, and certain professions or certain skills.
Right.
If I'm a carpenter, or if I learn a skill like an electrician,
Mm-hmm.
their technology
Mm-hmm.
is going to be, maybe I've got a new device that's, I'm going to tap on,
Yeah.
and it's going to show me how many volts are coming out of this. And that might increase my ability to do the job, or make me a little bit better. So in a sales position, or entrepreneur's positions, which we are salespeople,
Mm-hmm.
the technology that we can use are our tips, our communications, our how we use our body, how we use our voice, how we use our inflections, speeding up, slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are our tools in our toolbox to communicate better,
Mm-hmm.
to get different outcomes or different results, or get them faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I learned that a lot when I had that third business, the MP3, because it was face to face,
Mm-hmm.
face to face sales. I think I did phone sales. I did
Mm-hmm.
phone sales. I sucked at that. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I hated sales because I would I would get hung up on, and every time that someone hung up on me, it was like a dagger to the
Yeah.
heart.
Right.
I took things so personally, but then I learned that sales is actually, I can get better. I
Mm-hmm.
can get better, and there are things that I can do to improve this outcome that I'm getting. I'm not getting the outcome that I want.
Yeah.
I'm getting people to hang up on me. So
Mm-hmm.
there are things that you can try. You don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again, but you try a few things to see exactly what works,
Mm-hmm.
and you get better at it over time the more that you do it.
Yeah. 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 There are
That was my lesson from that third business,
totally.
until MP3 players. I had some problems with those MP3 players.
Mm-hmm.
They were great. They were selling well, but
Mm-hmm.
I had a problem with the quality.
Mm-hmm.
And the quality it got to be too much, where they were arriving, and they were just electronics. I could return them, but it was a long process. So eventually, I yeah, I shut that business down,
Mm-hmm.
and I went slinking back to corporate America
Mm-hmm.
again, slinking. That was
How did
that
you,
was
yeah. So how
my
did you get into,
third business that I opened up.
so how did you get into the funnel space and so on?
Ah, so after that experience, I went back into corporate America, into the insurance world again,
Mm-hmm.
where I was going back to that ladder,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that proverbial corporate ladder. I'm going back into corporate America. I'm deep into corporate America, and I'm learning. I'm getting some promotions, but I'm working hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was 2019, right before COVID, and there were some changes happening in the industry. And this
Mm-hmm.
company that I'd given uh, a lot of years of my life to, decided that they did not want to go forward with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was given my papers and said, thanks, but no thanks. We'll see you. Goodbye. Um, what a what a devastating moment for me in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had some money saved up. I did have money saved up, but I was still in a position where I had bills to pay. I had family to take care of. and I did not know where my next paycheck was coming from.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't know how I was going to put food on the table. I didn't know how I was going to keep the lights on. It was a time of a lot of uncertainty. Uh, I I was so deep into the world of the insurance, I had kind of lost, well, I won't say I lost touch, but I think I was still, I had these thoughts in my mind that I had experience one day. I went through a funnel.
Mhm.
I did. I went through a funnel and I didn't know it was a funnel.
Mhm.
But because I'm totally oblivious to this world. I'm on social media, but I didn't know that there was all of these other things going on behind the scenes. I didn't know that people were using it for an advertising platform and that people were making money from
Mhm.
places like Facebook and Instagram or even YouTube. I was a consumer. I was definitely a consumer. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to what was going on, but I did still have this part inside of me that wanted to be a business owner, wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'm still consuming books about sales, marketing, and leadership. So the moment I'm let go from this company, I said to myself, I said, this time I'm going to do it differently.
Mhm.
I'm going to look to see why am I here in this corporate position?
Yeah.
Why am I here? And the reason I was there was because of fear.
Mhm.
And I wasn't there for myself. I
Mhm.
was there for everyone else around me.
Mhm.
I'm out. I'm I'm in this corporate position because of everyone else, not myself, but everyone else thinks that I should, everyone else's idea of how your life should be.
Mhm.
You should go to school, get an education, get married, get two kids, get two dogs and a cat with a fence, and then you should stay at one job. And no one says that you should actually like what you do. You should actually like what you do and you should do what you love. And
Mhm.
I didn't love uh
The way you've been.
being a claims
Yeah.
adjuster. I didn't love going out there and looking at cars. I like cars, it's not what I love. What do
Mhm.
I love? I did a little bit of introspection, and I love sales, I love marketing, and I love leadership, sales, marketing, and leadership. And I said, this time I'm not going to go back to what I was doing before, but I'm going to look in to see my passion. I've already run three businesses before.
Mhm.
I'll find something out there, and that's when I was introduced to the world of ClickFunnels.
Mhm.
And what I really loved about it, having gone through a physical business before and having all of those headaches,
Mhm.
I said, I want a business. I don't want to do physical products.
Mhm.
I had a nightmare. I think I still have mental scars from running that business and the nightmares that I had with the shipping. And I was at the post office every single day. I had in one of our spare bedrooms, I was freshly married,
Mhm.
and here we got this new house, and we devoted this one room entirely to my stock, my boxes, my shipping, my computer, my labels. That was a result of me really understanding that if I bought things in bulk, I could reduce the cost of goods
Mhm.
so I could make more profit. And that's another thing that helped me to compete with the suppliers overseas. I had to figure out a way to actually decrease my cost of goods.
Mhm.
So I did that by categorizing each. I had to really break down what was my cost for
Yeah.
each item sold,
Yeah.
whether that was the box, the labeling,
Mhm.
the bubble wrap, how much did it cost, and then from there I could reduce the cost of the wrapping, reduce the cost of the postage, get the cost of the bubble wrap down, and I did that by buying in bulk.
Yeah.
To do that, I needed space. So I had this entire spare bedroom set up. I'd have to step over things, walk
Mhm.
over things.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I said,
Yeah.
if I ever did a business again, I don't want to do physical products.
Mhm.
and then I didn't know about affiliate marketing. I
Mm,
didn't know about affiliate
mhm,
marketing. But then I found out about affiliate marketing and I thought, wow, that's great. I can sell what I love to do and I don't have to fulfill. I
mhm.
don't have to ship. I don't have to take customer service calls. I
Right.
don't have to do all that because the company that I've sold them to is going to
Mhm,
handle all that. So I
mhm.
just do the selling.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this affiliate marketing is pretty cool. And there are a lot of companies that are doing it.
Yeah.
I had no clue that Amazon was one of the biggest places for affiliates.
Mhm,
Best Buy has affiliate programs, Target, Walmart.
mhm,
And I said, wow, I did not know all of these
mhm,
companies were actually offering a percentage of
mhm.
uh, sales.
Yeah.
And of course, when I started to notice that, then I started to notice a lot of other companies too. I had my apartment complex that I was living in, they were offering money for any referrals. I
Mhm,
said,
mhm,
that's a referral program too. I
mhm.
could, and not only can I, make money, but I can get money off of my rent.
Yeah.
That's money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So,
So
so I,
you become affiliate
so
for
yeah,
ClickFunnels,
so
right?
I was scrolling on the internet. I got introduced to an ad that popped on my feed in front of me for a 4 week social media marketing class.
Mm,
Um, I didn't buy it right away. I saved it and I came back to it later,
mhm,
ended up buying the whole package.
mhm,
Um, just just to side note on that, Facebook ads work.
mhm.
Facebook ads work. I think being around a lot of marketers a lot,
Yeah.
marketers will say, "Oh, your ads are not working, your ads are not working." But speaking from someone who's been completely outside of this world,
Mhm.
when and you don't know that you don't have the mindset of marketers
Yeah.
where you're seeing it every day. I wasn't seeing it every day, and I definitely bought. I buy all the time off of Facebook. I
Mhm,
buy, and
mhm,
other people are buying too.
mhm,
Um, I got this course. I took the 4 week course, and there was a couple of things that really, there are a couple of statistics that really blew my mind.
mhm,
And that was that advertisers on Facebook were spending some close to $4 billion on the platform
mhm,
advertising on there.
mhm,
And I also found out that email marketing has a 400% rate of return.
mhm,
When I found those numbers, I said, this is where I need to be.
mhm.
This is where I need to be. Uh, I went down the rabbit hole of searching on Google how to make money online. And you know where that all leads us.
Yeah.
It leads us down I'm not sure if everybody
Yeah.
hasn't taken that uh, journey at one time or another, but it led me down this rabbit hole, watching video after video, hour after hour,
Mm,
trying to figure out a way to make money. I ran up on this, I came across this YouTuber that was promoting taking the software,
mhm,
ClickFunnels, creating this page, uh, and getting this traffic to come to this page,
mhm,
getting them to enter their email address,
mhm.
and that from there it goes into an automatic responder that will send them automatic messages through email over a series of days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought, wow, this is just amazing.
Mhm,
This is amazing. I did exactly what the YouTuber said. That YouTuber was showing screenshot and screenshot. I think they probably were making tens of thousands of dollars. I said, as soon as I set this up, the same thing is gotta happen to me. I set it all up exactly the way he said, and
Okay. Typical. Yeah.
I made
Yeah.
a big fat goose egg.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Mm,
Why am I not getting the results that this guy's getting? What is wrong? I, because of that, because of following that YouTuber, I signed up for the ClickFunnels software.
mhm,
And I got a message from an onboarding specialist saying, hey, just want to check in with you. I know you're trying out the software. How'd you like to attend an hour-long session where we walk you through some of the main features? And if you do attend, we'll give you a free t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I was in. Free
Mm-hmm.
t-shirt, you had me at free.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. I
awesome.
attended this session. From there, they they uh they uh they recommended that I take the one funnel away challenge for
Mm-hmm.
$100.
Mm-hmm.
And if I took that one funnel away challenge for $100, it would extend my free trial
Mm-hmm.
out to from 15 days to 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
I took it. That challenge changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
That challenge, from day one, I was in there and I started to learn about how people are actually running their online businesses.
Mm-hmm.
How they're making them successful. I had tried to sell from a static website and I was getting no traffic. I was getting no people to go there. I had no clue how to post on social media to
Mm-hmm.
get people to come. I, I guess I thought, you know what I thought? I thought that if I build it, that they will come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I built it and nobody came.
yeah.
No one came. And so of course I had to try and search
Mm-hmm.
how does this thing really work? One
Mm-hmm.
funnel away challenge taught me most sales are not made on the very first touch.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 6 to 7 touch points before
Mm-hmm.
people will actually purchase.
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing that from a static website, then you really don't have the ability to really bring people back.
Mm-hmm.
Funnels allow you to communicate and nurture that person, and you take what would have not been a sale and you turn it into a sale.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you take more people that weren't going to buy
Mm-hmm.
into people that buy. I
Mm-hmm.
remember and then so I'm learning all of these different funnel strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So these funnel strategies, exit pops,
Mm-hmm.
exit intent pops.
Mm-hmm.
Before you leave, I see that you didn't grab this, but before you leave, here's a 10 here's a 10 10-point checklist to start and grow your own business
Mm-hmm.
that you can have and just come back later.
Mm-hmm.
And from there they signed up and I started growing my email list.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started sending out emails. I
Yeah.
sent out emails once for 6 months straight.
Mm-hmm.
And people would actually click on my emails. Originally, I think I got clicks, but people would not do anything once they clicked. I checked the stats. It's like, oh, I got 3 clicks. I had hundreds of people go there, but 3 clicks.
Mm-hmm.
But now, when I changed and I started to really develop relationships
Mm-hmm.
with the people and not just treat them as a number coming in on the list,
Yeah.
then they started to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I was buying solo ads. I did. I'm guilty. But I was breaking even
Mm-hmm.
but I was making money or breaking even. And I was doing that through some funnel strategies that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And those funnel strategies, if you want to know, I was not only, having the email go out, but I would place these little sort of advertisements at the bottom of the email too, and those were also going towards affiliate links too. So I would get people signing up for, say a mail program that I was promoting for an email responder that I had just a really quick blurb about at the bottom,
Yeah.
and I thought, okay, so that works, and I'm developing more of a relationship with people. I went on to actually create a course.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
created a course, digital marketing for beginners, put it inside of a membership area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really diving deep inside of this online world, and I'm finding that I can do all of this inside of ClickFunnels.
Mm-hmm.
All of this inside of ClickFunnels. Develop a membership, a course area. I'm putting together these lead magnets. I started a Facebook group where I'm starting to get members in, where I communicate with
Yeah.
on a daily basis, teaching things. My list is growing. I'm getting people in that membership area. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying just selling online,
Hmm.
uh, getting better at the communication part. Because I don't think anyone starts out in the beginning really great. No one starts out great. But when you practice, I had this Facebook group and I could just throw out these hooks. It was my practice ground. I throw out these hooks. I throw out put a lead magnet out there to see how it performed, flopped. Oh my gosh,
Hmm.
Adam,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Totally.
was a constant putting out there, putting out there, putting out there. Oh, this one hit. Okay, these funnels right here, I'll tell you, of all the funnel templates that I've had inside my group, I can go back and look at the stats to see
Yeah.
which ones are the most popular, which ones are people downloading most, which ones are people grabbing. Interestingly enough,
Hmm.
the fitness and supplement templates were my
Mm.
number one template.
Nice.
Because that's what I was doing basically. Started to take on more clients, teaching inside of the Facebook group, and also taking on some one-on-one
Mhm.
clients as well. And that's how the journey's been.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
I spent a
amazing.
lot of time inside of ClickFunnels, and because I was spending a lot of time in there, I started making a lot of tutorial videos.
Hmm.
Uh, I would use a lot of the features that people weren't familiar with,
Mm.
and they weren't using.
Yeah.
I would. I don't know if people even knew. You can't do this in the new ClickFunnels now, but in the first ClickFunnels, they had this text message
Hmm.
feature. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. I do. Yeah.
Yeah, text message feature. And I think to this day, you can still text and it would, if you text, yeah, if you text a phrase to the number,
Yeah.
then I could shoot you a link to
Hmm.
one of my landing pages.
Right.
Or, yep, because that's what it would do. It would shoot you
Yes.
a link
Yeah.
to my landing page, and I'd get people to sign up that way. That was one of my favorite ways to actually, these are all funnel strategies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That would be another way that I was growing my list, getting new clients, selling my course. Um, I also had these auto replies where everything's going out on automation.
Yeah.
When you let's say I was getting people to sign up for ClickFunnels and I had this bonus stack.
Hmm.
All of that was done on automation. I would have them uh, email email me the receipt, but that was automatic too.
Right.
So they would email. It was a phrase. You email a phrase to my email address, and my email detected it,
Yeah.
and it would automatically send you. It automatically reply
Yeah.
with an
Yeah.
email with the bonuses for signing up under my referral link.
Yeah.
So I think I'm really in love with the software.
Hmm.
I'm it's a love for software, a love for marketing and what it could do. And I'm just like a kid in a candy store and this was ClickFunnels
Hmm.
Classic.
Hmm.
This wasn't the new ClickFunnels
No. Yeah.
and everything that it has to offer now. It's triple, if not more, of what you can do inside of there now than what you could do when we were first working inside of Classic. And now I look at those pages and I'm thinking, wow,
Hmm.
that looks like early days of the internet over there.
So what is for you like a um the most fascinating thing of in entrepreneurship, like something that fascinates you or you totally love doing?
What do I love doing in entrepreneurship? I
Hmm.
think I think in entrepreneurship, we're always solving people's problems.
Hmm.
And I think the, seeing you help someone get unstuck,
Mm.
helping someone get unstuck.
Hmm.
I think that's the reward. And because sometimes that's what you would do without being paid.
Hmm.
And I think it's a mindset of serving,
Hmm.
and we all know that selling is serving.
Hmm.
So when you sell someone something, you are serving them.
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes even against their own will.
Yeah.
But we'll say against their will, you know, they'll fight it sometimes. But then when you help them and they can see, or they're unstuck, or they've been trying to do something for a while, or you see someone get their first sale, or
Mm-hmm.
you see that light, and it gives them that hope
Mm-hmm.
that you know this does work.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know sometimes going through this journey, it can be frustrating when you've tried a lot of things and they haven't worked. I know I tried a lot of things, but I would keep trying things inside of my Facebook group. I keep trying things until I did find out what worked.
Mm-hmm.
So to see that, and just to know that what I've done is I've given that person the belief
Mm-hmm.
that this does work. I have people ask me sometimes, does this affiliate marketing, do you can you really make money from it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you really make money from it? And I'm thinking, yes, I've made close to six figures from it. So yes, it does work.
Yeah.
And and so, but you may not believe it until you've had some experience
Right.
receiving that income, or receiving a check, or getting a ding on your phone saying you've got a check waiting for you. So it's that part. It's actually spreading that and seeing someone else get success. That's one of the best parts.
Yeah.
That's one of the best parts.
What people should focus on when they starting out, for example? What is the most important skills to develop, like when you are starting out? What would you say in your experience?
Yes, the most important skill to develop as a beginning entrepreneur is your selling skill.
Mm-hmm.
The skill of selling. And the skill of selling is not not immediately putting your link in front of someone, or it's not immediately going to talk about sales, or immediately talking about you or your thing. Um, you should be able to bring up the sales naturally. And I think when I first started, I had to bring up what I did, but I've learned now how to just post what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and people will naturally come and ask what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that way works a lot better than just going out there like I was in the beginning. Hey, I've got this new training. You should come. You should be there. And that leading with that, I think it turns people off. It turns people off. But if they see that you're doing it, and let them come to you, I have people. It's interesting because I have people that I think are not watching me. I have family members and a lot of people who they may never respond or say anything to you formally, or just out loud, but they're watching you a lot. They're probably watching this right now. Hey, how's it going? But I'd say focus on focus on selling, but not selling as an aggressive
Mm-hmm.
selling, but focus on serving selling,
Mm-hmm.
and learn that skill. Learn how to draw people to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll come to you ready to buy, or they'll
Mm-hmm.
come to you already interested, or they'll come to you already at the point where they just want your advice.
Mm-hmm.
So you have made that sale process easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, understand. Okay, so most sales, I'd say almost every sale, is not made immediately. It's not made immediately.
Right.
There is a process. That person first has to think about it and say, I need this, or I have been thinking about it. But then there are these stages that people go through.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you meet them at that beginning stage
Mm-hmm.
where they're totally completely unaware of what you're
Mm-hmm.
offering, or you could meet them at the at the bottom stage where they're almost ready. They're just ready to drop. They've been looking for somewhere. They've been looking for your solution. So there's different areas where people could be introduced to you, and that's
Right.
part of your funnel strategy. So going out there thinking that you're going to win every sale on the first contact is setting yourself up for disappointment. Don't think, and if you really learn the skill of sales, then you'll understand that it's a process.
Mm,
And when you learn that, that's going to be important for you. It's going to save you a lot of frustration. It's going to save you from probably quitting, because statistics tell us that 60% of the sale happens after I think maybe even 80% happens after the first no.
yeah,
And when you understand that in sales, then you'll be a lot more, uh, it'll be a lot more enjoyable for you, save you some disappointment.
totally.
So learn to sell, and selling is not going out there, putting up a sign saying, buy now or else, but it's a process. It's a process.
Right. Would you also say that you being able to show up consistently brought the opportunity to you, like people to find you?
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. Not even 100%, more than 100%.
Right.
Uh, showing up, period. Showing up, period. Everything. I think all the opportunity that I've gotten with ClickFunnels is because of me opening up this laptop or opening up this phone and texting words or images and posting it
Right.
online for people to see, and then doing that again, and then writing more words and writing more words and making more pictures and posting it online for other people to see. I'm not meeting people in person. I'm not face to face with people. I have been, after a few years, I am now, I've grown my network to
Right.
be more than just online.
Mhm.
But in the beginning, and a lot of the opportunities that I do get, especially with ClickFunnels, has been solely 100% because of what I post online, because of what I have posted online, and how I am. So the military, another thing that the military taught me also, I'll take this back to my military career, is I'm a loyal person. And I'm a pretty loyal person. So if I am with you, I am with you.
Mhm.
And that's just a characteristic. And I've seen a lot of people in this industry that are what we call fair weather friends. When you're doing good, they're with you, but when you're going through rough times, they'll have, yeah, I don't know what's going on with those people, but but I tend to be loyal, and I think it could be because it could be, when I was coming up, there were people that showed me or gave me opportunity when I may not have proven myself, but I want to return that favor. And I think that sometimes you give people opportunity, especially if they are showing up consistently.
Yeah.
When you show up consistently, a lesson I learned I learned this when I was working for one of those telemarketing companies, and I was actually I was working for this company for 30 days.
Hmm.
30 days. And I hadn't done anything special. I just came to work. That was it.
Hmm.
And at after a month, one of the managers came up to me and said, "Hey, Mark, you ever think about going into management? You're pretty much management material." And I thought, "Really?
That's awesome.
Really? I've not done anything. Only thing I've done is show up
Mm.
every day and show up every day on time."
Mm.
That was crazy to me,
Yeah.
that you can give yourself an unfair advantage just by showing up every day. That takes no skill, no extra ability. Just show up
Mm,
every single day. It's crazy. That's crazy. But it just goes to show how many people don't.
mm.
And when you do, and when you can, and you show up consistently, people take notice. And I've used that too. I've used that definitely. I think when people see that you are consistent and you do it over a long period of time, uh, it says something about you and your ability to show up. And people think that, okay, this person, if I was to ever work with them, they'd bring that same energy. But that's the energy that I bring. It is consistency. And when you commit to something, stick with it. Keep going. I'm on a, you know what? I'm on a 365-day content creation challenge right now.
Wow. Yeah, let's go. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. It was super awesome to have you. Last question, I would love to ask.
Yes.
Um, so it's probably a little bit different question than you can listen on or hear from other people. But what if this was the last interview you ever gave? What's the message you would want to leave behind you?
Oh, that's such a thought-provoking question. If I were to never have another opportunity to speak again, first I would say, hey, I love you, family. I love you guys. You guys have always been such an important part in my life. I had to say that because they're watching, okay, Adam?
Sure. That's awesome. Yeah. Love it.
So if this was the last interview that I ever had, I would say, I think it's been my motto this year at saying that if there is something that you want in life, go for it. Do it. You know how they say, take the vacation, uh, ask the girl out, do it. I think I spent a lot of time, a lot of my life, afraid of what other people would think, afraid of what other people would say, when in reality, those people doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is that you live out your life and that you're not, I think we talk about brainwashed to be broke. We're brainwashed to live the dreams of other people. You say that you're either living your dream or you're living the dream of someone else. Live your dream, live your life, design your life the way you want it to be, not the way someone else wants it to be, but the way you want it to be. And it's you can design your life by imagining your life, making, making your ideas be like the 5-year-old kid version of yourself who saw endless possibilities, who saw how you could make something out of nothing. Make that your daily, make that your daily attitude is that if I want something, I'm going to go out there and do it. And that's it. I think that's what life is about. Is living it with no regrets. And that's my profound statement.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. Where people can find you, my friend.
Ah, well, I always say that my name is Mark, and I'm the guy behind the Mental Marketer and the private Facebook group Funnel Building 101. You can find me at the Mental Marketer. You can Google it, and you'll see my page comes up there. Probably more than likely, it's going to be my YouTube channel, or it could be my homepage where you'll find out more about the programs that I offer. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Threads, and Snapchat, and X. Did I say X already? I said
Yeah.
Twitter, didn't I?
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. But it's the mental marketer. Or you could just find me in my private Facebook group on Facebook, Funnel Building 101, where we teach the newest art and science of funnel building to help content creators sell other people's stuff.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. And for everyone who's listening, if there's something in you, don't ignore it. Share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe, leave a review, and remember, you weren't born to follow the script, you weren't born to be free. Bye, everybody.
See ya. Thanks for having me.